Hello everyone, SquaredCircle Wrestling is back with another episode which includes CM Punk fired from AEW, Bray Wyatt almost signed with AEW, original plans for Bray Wyatt after his 2022 return, Seth Rollins criticized WWE for its booking, former WWE female star launches fan website after WWE departure, John Cena gives his honest opinion on LA Knight, Bayley's stunning new photo breaks the internet, and much more. You can check the complete list with time chapters in the description box below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest news. Breaking news: CM Punk fired from AEW. AEW announced Friday that it terminated the contract of CM Punk after his involvement in a backstage incident at All In last weekend in London. In a statement, AEW President Tony Khan said he made the decision to fire Punk on his own and did so in the best interests of AEW's talent and staff. AEW official handle tweeted the following announcement which stated, "Statement from All Elite Wrestling and Tony Khan. All Elite Wrestling has terminated the wrestler and employment agreements between Phillip Brooks and AEW with cause, effective immediately." The termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager and Head of Creative of AEW. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW All in London on Sunday, August 27th. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous recommendation to Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. Khan offered the following statement: "Phil played an important role within AEW and I thank him for his contributions. The termination of his AEW contracts with cause is ultimately my decision, and mine alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Nevertheless, I am making the decision in the best interests of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week, our talent, staff, venue operators and many others whose efforts are unsung but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television and at arenas and stadiums throughout the world." What's your take on AEW's decision of firing Punk? Let us know in the comments below. Our top story for today looks at Bray Wyatt almost signed with AEW. WWE released Wyatt in the summer of 2021 despite him being close to returning to TV after disappearing following his WrestleMania 37 loss to Randy Orton. It was a shocking release as he was a top star and top earning for the company. Bray Wyatt had a lot of expectations to live up to after returning to WWE last year at Extreme Rules. During his time away from WWE, there was a lot of speculation about where he would end up next. Now it appears Wyatt almost debuted in AEW before his WWE return. Dave Meltzer, on this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, reveals that Bray Wyatt was very close to signing with Tony Khan's promotion before he returned to WWE. He said, "He never wrestled for the next year even with great demand for him from other companies. At one point TNT was told of a date for him to debut in AEW, but it fell through, believed to be money related. Impact was interested as was Triple and Japanese groups. He did nothing and then pushed the idea of him returning using the name Windham. He pushed the name in social media but before ever using it, he went back to the old character, signifying a return to WWE upcoming." Next up, original plans for Bray Wyatt after his 2022 return. It was reported earlier this month that Bray Wyatt was set to return to WWE in September after showing positive recovery signs to his illness. Sadly, Wyatt died from a heart attack on August 24th at the age of 36 and left the wrestling world in a state of disbelief. That said, it seems that WWE was anticipating his eventual return to action, as the promotion's creative department was reportedly toying with ideas for his WrestleMania 40 match. Dave Meltzer, on this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, gave a sight at WWE's plans for Bray Wyatt following his return to the company. He stated, "WWE reportedly planned on having Wyatt face Uncle Howdy, the masked wrestler who's supposedly portrayed by Wyatt's brother Taylor Rotunda, also known as Bo Dallas, at WrestleMania 40. However, those plans were dropped as Howdy wasn't being pushed at a high enough level to warrant a WrestleMania match against Wyatt." Next up, WWE's original plans for Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss. Wyatt went on a hiatus on the road to WrestleMania 39. And the WWE Universe was patiently waiting to see him make a big return somewhere down the line and continue his storyline involving Uncle Howdy. The news of Wyatt's untimely passing left the wrestling world shocked. Dave Meltzer, on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, noted that Alexa Bliss was also set to bring back her old gimmick from the time when she was involved with Wyatt on WWE TV, but her pregnancy squashed those plans. It was noted, Alexa Bliss, who was associated with Wyatt years earlier and doing a female monster gimmick, was about to go back to the gimmick when he became ill. She later got pregnant, so the plans never developed. Details on how Braun Strowman handled Bray Wyatt's passing. WWE star Rodriguez recently opened up about how Braun Strowman has dealt with the untimely passing of his best friend Bray Wyatt. Strowman joined Wyatt family faction in 2015 and became best friends ever since. Rodriguez, Strowman's girlfriend in real life, told the Daily Mail how her boyfriend handled his best friend's demise. She said, "Of course it is difficult for Braun. He's really kept a strong face for the locker room and for a lot of people out there. But Bray was his mentor. It's who he started out with. He was his wrestling brother. He's had a tough one, but I'm very proud of him and the way he's been handling it. He's been very strong mentally and physically. He's been keeping a good head on his shoulders. A lot of us have been trying to stay strong for his family. Next up, Seth Rollins reacts to AEW All-In success. WWE megastar Seth Rollins has commented on the current wrestling boom, acknowledging the success of AEW All in London. With over 80,000 paid tickets distributed for the August 27th All in London show, the AEW event now holds the record for the largest paid attendance as a single pro wrestling show. The former Universal Champion Seth Rollins, while speaking on WWE After the Bell, acknowledged the success of AEW All In. Rollins said, "We are in the boom. You have to understand, there is another company that just put 80,000 people in a stadium for one night. A week before that, we sold 90,000 tickets to WrestleMania, broke the all-time gate on the first day. The business is bigger than it's ever been. It makes more money than ever. It's healthier. The future of the business is so bright and I'm so happy to be a part of it in any capacity." Next up, rumor. WWE believes Edge is heading to AEW. According to a new report, former 11-time world champion Edge is expected to head for AEW. In 2020, Edge stepped out of retirement for the first time in nearly 9 years after he was forced to leave in-ring competition following WrestleMania 27. The Rated R superstar's passion and determination to end his career on his own terms made him return to the company for another run. Edge previously announced in a video on Twitter that he has a contract extension offer from WWE as his contract expires at the end of September this year. It was also reported that WWE are trying hard to sign back Edge to WWE, but Edge denied signing any contract extensions with the company. According to one, those in WWE feel that the 49-year-old former world champion is bound for AEW after his current contract expires. Edge previously discussed to finish his wrestling career alongside his best friend and current AEW star Christian Cage. With Christian signed with AEW, the chances of Edge heading to AEW are pretty good. Would you like to see Edge in AEW? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, Seth Rollins criticized WWE for its booking. Former WWE champion Seth Rollins is one of the top superstars in the company right now, and he is never afraid to share his thoughts on what goes on in the company. Seth Rollins, while speaking on the After the Bell podcast, criticized WWE for its poor booking of the women's division. The WWE women's division has been the subject of a lot of criticism in the past few months for a lot of reasons. It was previously noted that there were some unhappy people backstage in WWE over the treatment of the women's division. The big match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus was also left out of the SummerSlam match card, and even Rollins admitted that the WWE women's division hasn't been showcased well for months. He said, "I'm going to be frank with you, they haven't been showcased as well as they could have been over the past, 6 months or so. They haven't been, aside from a few exceptions, and I don't need to pick and choose and name names. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles, and that's part of the industry." Next up, former WWE female star launches fan website after WWE departure. Former WWE star Lacey Evans recently announced the launch of her new fan website after her WWE departure. The former United States Marine joined the WWE in 2016. She spent nearly 7 years as an active competitor on NXT, Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown. However, she recently announced her departure from the company. Lacey Evans seems to be following the fellow wrestler and former NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose, who was fired from the company for having a similar fan website last December. Nevertheless, she reportedly earned $1 million from her exclusive online content by the end of that same month. Next up, Hulk Hogan allegedly threatened ex-WWE star's family member with a shotgun. Former NXT superstar and former TNA World Champion EC3 recently spoke with Dr. Chris Featherstone on the Wrestling Outlaws. He told an amusing story about how wrestling icon Hulk Hogan once allegedly confronted one of his family members with a shotgun. He told, "A black sheep part of my family, apparently, that I don't talk to, were in Clearwater. And they got Hogan's address, and somebody told them, yeah, he's cool. If you just drive up to his house, he'll take a picture with you." The family member of EC3 drove to Hogan's home for a picture with the Hall of Famer, but things didn't turn out how they had expected. "I just found this out, and this is many years ago. But they drove up to Hogan's house. The gate was open because I think somebody was detailing his car, so the gate was open. They drove out, got out, they're looking around, and Hogan comes out with a shotgun, going, 'Who are you and why are you here?' He's like, 'You can't come everywhere,' and he eventually took a picture with him." Next up, John Cena gives his honest opinion on LA Knight. The wrestling megastar LA Knight is one of the most popular names in the entire company today. He gets the biggest reactions whenever he shows up in an arena, and the fans love repeating his catchphrases. The 16-time world champion is way too familiar with getting big pops, seeing as he's one of the biggest stars in wrestling history. John Cena, speaking to Kathy Kelly in a backstage segment on SmackDown, stated that he has a lot of respect for LA Knight, as he doesn't give up and isn't afraid to be who he is. He said, "I have a tremendous amount of respect for LA Knight because his trajectory is that of persistence. You want to talk about somebody never giving up. I have it on a shirt and I try to live it every day. He walks the talk and he does it with his own style and he's not afraid to be who he is in here in his heart. And speaking from someone who started as the doctor of thugonomics, I have a lot of respect for that." Next up, Bayley's stunning new photo breaks the internet. The former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley had caught the attention of fans on social media with her latest picture. Bayley recently took to social media to share a stunning new photo of herself at Beyonce's concert at Levi's Stadium. The Damage Control member Bayley, despite a hectic schedule, managed to take some time off to enjoy Beyonce's concert. She also uploaded a new photo of herself on her Instagram story, which caught the attention of fans on social media, creating a lot of buzz on the internet. And that is all for today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel SquaredCircle Wrestling for all the latest updates.